right, we are all good. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Hockey Down Here podcast presented by Going the Distance Sports. I'm Taylor, and I'm with Alex here today, and we're going to be talking about the start of the NHL season and a couple other things.
Yeah, I'm excited to get started. I mean, I think we've all been waiting for this season to just kind of get going, and I feel like it just came up out of nowhere, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it started on wasn't it like a Tuesday night or something?
Last Tuesday, yeah, a week from today, a week ago today.
Yeah, so we've actually had 1 week of NHL hockey, and I think every team has played so far, and so we've kind of got a small sample size from a couple teams and a bit larger from some others. So just kind of depends what the schedules have been so far, but it's been exciting. We've been seeing a lot of crazy debuts, including the Seattle Kraken, their first ever games. I believe they're 1-1 right now, so not too bad. I mean, they lost their opening game, but they beat the Preds in their second one, so 2 points on the board.
Yeah, and it was honestly surprising. It's like their opener for this season for their team debut wasn't even at home, which is kind of sad. Like, I feel like they should have made that happen for them. But yeah, they were in Nashville. They beat Nashville, which is awesome. And I was in Nashville when that happened. And so at night, all the Preds fans were kind of like, oh, whatever. So it was kind of funny. I wish I could have gone to the game,
Nashville has been taking the blunt of the joke for the past couple seasons, especially since their famous banner raising thing. And I think people blew up on social media about it, but the Preds kind of beat everyone to the punch by making we gave the Seattle Kraken their first win banner and posting it. I thought that was actually pretty funny. Then they started getting a bit upset about it when the Canes started hopping on and made even more banners for them after they kept losing. So
yeah, it was like they tried to make fun of themselves so other people couldn't, and then it just got carried away.
Yeah,
we were gonna go to that game on Saturday with Carolina because that's like my secondary team. But we just ended up not going because my friends aren't huge hockey people, which is sad. But
it's a shame.
It just didn't work out.
Well, Seattle, I saw their game against Vegas, at least the opening game. They didn't look great, but they didn't look bad. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they looked middle of the road, which is exactly where I expected them to be. I don't see them as a playoff team, but I see them middle as the road. So
it was like kind of surprising because it's like they only lost by 1 to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like Vegas to a lot of people hasn't been even impressive.
No,
in
their
not really. First couple games.
They lost to the Kings.
Yeah, they lost to the Kings 6-2, which is like big question marks. Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, if you're Vegas, you're like kicking yourself. But
I'm sure like at the beginning of the season, like obviously at the beginning of the season, anything can happen. You're just trying to get the wheels moving, but you should beat the Kings.
That's true. And I think actually, I think I'm wrong on Seattle's record being 1-1. I think last night they lost to the Flyers by a pretty decent amount. And someone actually had a pretty good tweet about it. It was like, for a team that invests so much into defense, they got Giordano, they got Grubauer, and I forgot who the other players were. I mean, they're not the most memorable roster in my opinion, but they got pretty blown out. I mean, they were down 3 in the first period. That's not the best look overall. I mean, you blame that on team chemistry so far. I mean, obviously they've played 3 games together. I don't hate that, but at the same time, they're not the best at defense either. So
yeah, I guess you like obviously everyone's like, oh, it's just team chemistry, blah blah blah. But like, I don't know, like at what point do you not attribute it to team chemistry and you actually look at like the performance of the players? And I think that's kind of like week 1 jitters out of the way. Week 2, it should probably start rolling and connecting a little bit better. And if it doesn't, that's on them.
Yeah. I remember Vegas got off to a pretty hot start from their first year. I know they had like goalie injuries their whole like first 2 months, but even then they kept winning. And I think that's when they kind of started solidifying themselves as like, like all the NHL GMs across the league, they screwed up giving them, the players and the picks and everything in between that kind of made them who they are today. So we'll see if Seattle kind of bucks that trend or even like kind of follows it. We'll see. But there are other impressive debuts around the league, including some rookies who I think a lot of people have been waiting to see. I have here Hendrix Lapierre. He gets his first goal in his first game. He grew up actually idolizing Alexander Ovechkin, and there's photos of him, getting hugs from Ovi after, his goals. That's awesome. William Eklund, as a Sharks fan, I'm very excited for. He's, in my opinion, one of the future superstars of the league. I'm probably jinxing it right now, but he had a point in his
Knock on
debut.
wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. He had an assist in his debut. He's got his second game tonight. I'm very excited to see it. Who else? Mason McTarvish. He's got, I think he already has his first point. I don't know if he got it in his first game though, but third pick overall. I think he's the highest draft pick to be playing from last year's draft because Beniers and Power are back in Michigan. And then, of course, Moritz Seider, the big prospect from Germany who's playing on the Red Wings. So a lot of big names that I think we'll see a lot in the future.
Yeah, and I think that just coming out of the draft and everything, like it's just nice to see like the younger kids getting into it and just kind of starting off on a strong note. And I know a lot of people kind of talk about like the sophomore slump with like their second season and stuff, and I've seen that with players that I followed coming out of the draft, but hoping for the best for them that they continue on doing well.
Yeah, it's been fun. I think there's like a lot of kind of new faces this year. From what I've been seeing, it seems like there's a lot of kids coming from the college system, and it seems like the rosters across the league are pretty different from the last time we saw them. But another big thing to start this season was McDavid already has a hat trick, and it's already
Not
his 10th hat
surprised.
trick. So, I mean, the guy's playing on rookie mode. It's incredible. It's not even fair.
Yeah, and in the article I read, they were playing the Flames, and it was the Flames' 12th opening game loss in a row, which is just like so sad because I mean, I've gone like it was a tradition for my family to always go to opening night in Chicago. And when they lost, it was just like obviously when they lose anytime, it's like ugh. But then it's like when it's opening night, you're like, oh, like it's opening
Yeah.
night at home. You can't even win for the crowd.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's such a Calgary thing too. Like
Yeah, like honestly,
I don't
classic.
know. I feel like that it fits them. Like they could go on and have a great season, but like they'll always lose the first home opener. Or opening game, actually, not just home opener. But
Yeah,
who else had a home opener was Tampa Bay on their banner night. It seems like teams always lose on banner night. I don't know.
I would honestly agree.
So
I
they
think
got
they're so like because obviously they have the pregame like ceremony and everything, and I feel like
Mhm.
everyone's so focused on that it's hard to get into like full game mode. And even like with home openers and everything, like just the pregame stuff that they do, I feel like it's not a typical game, so it's harder to kind of get in the groove and like get in your pregame routine.
yeah. And I think the Penguins, I mean, I think it comes a lot from like the away teams just being kind of sick of watching, and then they kind of get on a hotter start because they're just more annoyed, if you
Mhm.
will. But I might be eating my words about the Pittsburgh Penguins not being the best this year because so far they are actually, I believe they're atop the league standings right now, like the entire league. So, and that's without Crosby or Malkin. So pretty impressive, but I don't know if it'll last. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think also like on the flip side, as we were just talking about like the Lightning and like their banner and stuff, like obviously 2 time in a row champs, but Detroit took them to overtime. Like the
Yes,
Detroit Red Wings took the Tampa Bay Lightning to overtime.
Stevie Eiserman. He's doing a good job up in Detroit. It seems. I mean, he got Nedeljkovic and he's got Moritz Seider, and I don't know. Besides Dylan Larkin, I really don't know too much else about that team.
Yeah, I
But
don't
I mean,
either, and I don't really
if
want
you're
to.
Tampa Bay, I don't either. I mean, it's just they're not interesting to me, and I don't really care about them. And if you're Tampa Bay, that I mean, you got to wake up a little bit because
That
I
was
don't think
bad.
I don't think anyone wants you to win, but at the same time, you should win if that makes sense.
Yeah, like I'm glad that Detroit took you to overtime because I'm like, oh, there must be some holes somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's embarrassing for them.
I mean,
Even though it's
they
the start of the
lost.
season, it's embarrassing.
Yeah. They lost that third line of Gaudreau, Gordon,
Yeah,
Coleman. And I think it is actually going to be kind of the reason they may not repeat this year. And
not mad about that.
I feel like all of those players are such great depth pieces. And like they're all like these three guys that just play with such intensity that when you remove a line that has so much heart, it's just kind of hard to replicate. And now they're losing another player for the foreseeable future. We don't know how long, but Nikita Kucherov once again out. We'll see what BS comes out of Tampa this time with the cap space.
He'll probably come back for the playoffs if they make it and don't embarrass themselves in front of Detroit again. But
Yeah, here we go again.
yeah. I mean, I didn't see like the video or anything about like what actually happened, but I don't know.
He needs
Tampa
surgery.
just
Apparently.
bothers me. So like I'm like, oh, classic. Kucherov's hurt.
Yeah.
Like, what's
Yeah.
new?
Oh, he's good for May 1st. Wow, very
That's
convenient.
really convenient. It's really convenient.
And now everyone's saying, "Oh, well, Jack Eichel might go there now."
I I'm I'm very skeptical about that.
Yeah, that's it's a bit of a reach, but it's like it would be such a Tampa thing to pull off.
Yeah, honestly. Because then I read that the two contenders right now are like Vegas and the Avalanche, which
Jeez, no.
like I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent. I'm just kind of like the drama surrounding him is just like irritating.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but what was like the big pull is that there was like 5 teams in the running and all of them would let him have the surgery and everything that he wants. So
And
like
who are those 5 teams?
it was Vegas. Let me look at this really quick.
Yep.
Um Oh, it doesn't say, but one of them was Vegas, Rangers, and please hold. I'm gonna do a little copy paste investigation here.
I'm sure if it came up, the Avalanche might or the Lightning would try and work that out, but I don't know. This whole Jack Eichel situation is. I mean, he's not playing this season. It doesn't seem.
Yeah, no.
It's like a little too late for. Basically, I feel like everything.
Exactly. Like it wasn't settled in the summer. So it just seems like there's so much going on now that's just not
Mhm.
going to get sorted out.
Yeah.
But I believe the 5 teams were Anaheim, Minnesota, LA, Philly, and the Rangers. So this one doesn't have
The Avalanche or Vegas.
the Avalanche or Vegas, but those are just the things that I have found
I
on
mean,
the whole topic.
I guess Anaheim makes sense. I don't know their contract situations, but I guess they don't have a big one.
I'm
Unless
guessing they have space
I
because
guess
I'm
so
just thinking
too.
about like Anaheim, like
Yeah.
they probably have space.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of their best players, Drysdale, Zagreus, and Gibson. I can't imagine any of those guys are making anywhere close to like. I mean, 2 of those guys are already on entry level contracts, and Getzlov, I don't know what he's making, but it's probably a 1-year deal thing. So I don't know.
And like the Sabres don't want to retain any of it. So that's why it's also making
Yeah.
it complicated because they're like, oh, we want him to go, but then they're like, well, we're not going to help out in any of that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Kind
well,
of-
you gotta pick your battles here.
they're just gonna force this poor guy into retirement, and he's like what 25.
Literally, he's so young.
That sucks. He's only 4 years older than us.
That's really sad to think
That's
about.
crazy.
Could you imagine your career just like being done at 25? It's like, what do? You
Well, I
spent
mean,
your whole life trying to make it to where you're at, and then the league says no.
Well, I mean,
Sucks to be you.
mine's gonna be done by 22, so it's fair, I guess.
I wouldn't call that quite a career, but
You're telling me ending up in club hockey is not
not
prestigious
quite the
career.
same as NHL.
Oh,
It
okay.
might feel like it while you're on the ice, but it's just not quite the same level.
Well, speaking of club hockey, SMU did in fact beat TCU, so
Didn't we
we got that
also
going.
beat you though?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure we did.
We won like 15-1 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but what was the game the night before?
We didn't play the night before.
You're
Strange.
lying.
I don't know. Weird.
You're
Anyway,
literally lying. I mean, not that I
Evander
really care because
Evander Kane has been officially
switching
suspended.
subjects.
Switching subjects here. Evander Kane has been officially suspended by the league for 21 games. It was based off of the fact that he did not meet COVID
What was
protocol
that? Like, what
ruling.
was the protocol?
So, what people are saying is they believe it was a vaccination card issue where he tried to submit either a fake one or one that was changed because I don't like have official sources for this, but from what I've like read on like the Sharks boards and whatever, that they believe he changed the date of the like he did get vaccinated, but he changed the date of the vaccination so he could be in compliance with like the league's deadlines,
Is the
which
NHL even requiring them to get vaccinated?
I think it's a team thing, but absolute boneheaded rule. Like why not just like be like, okay, I didn't get the vaccine on time, but I did get it. Like, what are like there's come on, there's gotta
Yeah, that
be.
is silly. It's like, what if it just like didn't work out? And also, like, you're not supposed to like if say if he had COVID, like he's not supposed to get it within like 90 days. So like, what if he got COVID over the summer and he was just
Yeah,
waiting? We don't
it's
know.
like what a like boneheaded move. But
And
then
like
again, this
21
is
games. And when I heard that when I saw like, oh, he's suspended, I was like, oh, must be something with all the investigations going on. But
yeah.
then it was about COVID.
Yeah, no, it's not based on his gambling, the accusations of him gambling on hockey, throwing games, and it's not on the allegations his ex-wife brought up, Deanna Kane, saying that he abused her. They said those were um, they could not be substantiated, those allegations. So I think there's a quote here from Kane. Do you want to read that?
Oh yeah. This was his statement to fans, to the organization, to everybody. I'd like to apologize to my teammates, the San Jose Sharks organization, and all Sharks fans for violating the NHL COVID protocols. I made a mistake, one I sincerely regret and take responsibility for. During my suspension, I'll continue to participate in counseling to help me make better decisions in the future. When my suspension is over, I plan to return to the ice with great effort, determination, and love for the game of hockey. Also, like, so say he like forged a COVID
Mhm.
vaccination card.
Yeah,
What are you going to counseling for?
gambling probably. It's probably that probably has to do with gambling.
Has
I
right? Because I'm
I would
like,
assume
you don't just
this.
go to counseling because you forged a card. I mean, you
No,
could. I don't know.
I would assume this has to do because he did come out and say last season that he had a gambling addiction.
Yeah.
He said he went bankrupt. As a Sharks fan at that time, we were like, okay, he got it out in the open. Like it's fine. He was actually playing a really good season. It seemed like he had kind of gotten past that. And because like the seasons before he was fine, but like you could tell there was something holding him back. And I know he had a really tough issue with like having a stillborn child. That was terrible. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were still kind of he didn't seem to be quite there. And then he came out and was like, look, I have issues. I'm getting them fixed. And then he played a great season. And then, of course, this summer, all that stuff came back out. And it's like, Jesus, dude, like as a Sharks fan, it's so hard because I don't know where to stand with this guy because I'm getting tired of it. I'm sure his teammates are tired of it. I know they said that Logan Couture and none of the teammates had talked to him since all this stuff had come out about like the suspension or anything. So it's not like they're in like good cahoots or anything.
Well, and
But
that's what's also going to be interesting is when he does come back, if he does come back, team chemistry and like that kind of stuff, it definitely is
yeah,
going to play a role because it's like if these people don't trust him off the ice, it's going to be very, very
I know.
difficult to try to connect with him on the ice. And side note, NHL is not making players get vaccinated. If players are unvaccinated, they're like road trips restrictions, like they can only go to their team
Right.
hotel, practice facility, and arena.
They probably can't go to
It's like-
Canada either if they're in the US.
I feel like they're gonna make an exception
I don't know. Well, I don't know any
because
players
you
really
can't just
outside of
like not
Kane.
leave. You can't just like leave your player behind if he's unvaccinated. They'll probably get a
Sure, you
negative test
can.
and then fly him to Canada. They'll be fine.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
worried about that.
But man, it stinks
When it
being a
sucks because he's
Sharks.
just like such a face of the franchise, so it's just kind
Not,
of
I
like
mean, not really. He was kind of he's kind of been late to this team,
yeah, but like
but
you
he
just
is,
associate him with the Sharks, like, and vice versa.
yeah, I mean, he was the top point scorer last year.
Yeah,
What's weird is like people have been saying like the Sharks seem to have like a better like mood right now. And people are like, well, it's probably because Kane isn't there. And honestly, I kind of believe them because I mean they won their first game against the Jets. The Jets aren't a sleeper team. I feel like the Jets
yeah.
are like
That was
decent.
even a note I made for surprising starts because obviously the Jets had a great playoffs last season.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
Well, and like think about like this player's bringing so much drama into like the workspace basically, and then he's gone. Like I would feel the weight lifted off my shoulders. You don't have to like think about it as much.
yeah. And like I don't feel like him and someone like Brent Burns are really going to be getting along after like all this crap.
No, probably not.
I don't know. Brent Burns just doesn't seem like a guy who takes any BS about
Yeah.
this. So
Well, and he's
I,
like older. He's probably like, I don't
yeah,
care.
I feel like San Jose has got to make some kind of move. Like they got to be ahead of it when it comes to like they should know what they're doing before these 21 games are up and he's allowed to come back. Like they either need to trade him or they need to like waive him and then like have him not report kind of thing.
Do you
It
think any
just
team would take him though?
I don't know because his cap is pretty brutal at 7 million.
Yeah. And
And
he's just like a risky player to take, I feel like.
yeah, I mean right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Especially
I
with
don't
like
know.
PR purposes. Cause I mean, like at the end of the day, it's just a business.
Yeah,
So it's
actually,
like,
I have a PR class this semester, and you know, little did I expect to be talking about the San Jose Sharks in a PR class in Texas. I was like, no way, like this is ridiculous. So
I do love sports PR. It's so interesting.
never ending, is it?
Never ending.
Well, who do we got next? Who do we got next here?
Tuukka Rasks, all these players, their future is uncertain. Eichel, Kane, Tuukka Rask. Golly.
And this comes right after our last episode, in which we probably spent like maybe 5 minutes being like, "Oh, Tuukka Rask will be back this year and he'll have a good year." And now, is Tuukka
Because
Rask
we were
back?
like
No.
Bruins, Bruins, Bruins.
Yeah, that didn't age well.
No.
So it's like an undisclosed injury, I believe. I
Yeah, I
really
feel like
can't
all
find
of them
much
are undisclosed.
information.
I just I need to read more about this real quick because I'm just like, can he just be okay?
They said something about I know David Krejci left, but there's still rumors that he's coming back. I don't know. Like there's like the Bruins people said the door is still open for both Krejci and Tuukka Rask to return. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's tough because Tuukka Rask is a fantastic goalie. I think Bruins are in good hands with Jeremy Swayman, but at the
Yeah.
same time, he's still young. He's not Tuukka Rask.
And it would just be nice to have that veteran presence as a role model.
Oh, actually, something we actually left off here is Carey Price. I mean,
Oh
he
yeah.
took a step away to go get some help with the NHL PA's player assistance program. So obviously, none of that was disclosed, but like the face of the Canadians and like the face of maybe goaltending, I feel so.
Oh well,
Um,
Carey Price received standing ovation at Habs fans by Habs fans at home opener. That's sweet.
that's nice. Um, so I think it's good that he's getting whatever issues taken care of. Hopefully he's going to return because Carey Price does make the league a better place.
But
And
yeah, that's this. Yeah, this is interesting. It will become even more interesting as like stuff develops too.
yeah, so we don't know what it is, but hopefully he's doing okay and hopefully he returns soon.
Go him for like knowing to step away though. Like that's huge.
Yeah. And I think the timing was appropriate too. Like he
Mhm.
didn't wait till, part way through the season. Not to say like it's an issue to like step away during the season if you have to, but like I think he did the right thing and
It
kind
was
of getting
convenient
ahead.
timing.
I think he got ahead and he was like, look, guys, I need to take a step away. And I think it allowed the Canadians to maybe make a couple more adjustments before the season. So obviously they're going to be worse off because of it, but in the long run, it might be better. But
I'm also with this Tuukka Rask sitch because he said he'd like to resign with the Bruins and hopes to be healthy enough to play around the holidays. And then he would be a cheap goalie for the Bruins, is what he also said.
that's weird.
Because if they decided to sign the
Oh, you know what?
because
Yeah,
he's old, he's recovering from surgery, and like he wants to stay in Boston.
yeah.
You
I,
probably give him
I
a discount.
I think I saw some over the summer where he's like, I'd stay for like a 6 pack of Bud Light or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's looking tough for goalies out here. But I think a goalie who stepped away from the game and is doing well is actually Lundqvist, who got a job with MSG, who they do all the Rangers broadcasts, and
Mhm.
he's an analyst for them now. I think it's appropriate. I think he is kind of a Ranger forever, and MSG is a pretty big. It's a pretty big network for
Yeah.
sports in general. So great that he's getting back out there, and I think he fills the role really well. He's very eloquent when he speaks, even though he speaks Swedish first. Very good.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I like when the former players come back as analysts and stuff because obviously they know the game better than anyone. So
Yeah.
it's also just neat to see like both sides to it and how they kind of transition into that. And they don't have to transition into being like a total civilian. They can still be attached to the game.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of interesting, uncertain futures. I think that's kind of the big takeaway so far this episode. It's we got a bunch of new guys who are coming in the league. They're rookies. They have an uncertain future in the sense that like we don't know how they're going to progress. I mean, some of them might do really well, and some might kind of bottom out. We got some guys who have some off the ice issues and need those to be taken care of. And then we have guys who, injuries have held them back and have caused them to step away. So a lot of uncertainties.
Are there any rookies that you think are being put on an NHL roster too soon?
Ooh, that's actually a great question. It feels like teams like despite the fact there were like some notable rookies, I feel like they were kind of conservative with bringing guys up. I mean, considering the first and second overall pick aren't playing this year, that's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Ducks might be rushing McTarvish a bit. Um, I know he was kind of projected anywhere between where he got drafted and like 15. So, I mean, he's got a huge range of people were kind of uncertain about him. And I don't know if another year in either the minors or kind of juniors would have helped him. I don't believe he was slated to play in college. So I don't know. McTarvish is an interesting one that I may be a bit kind of like, why did they do that? Their team isn't really good at all. Why would you bring him
Yeah,
into that?
like why rush it when you could just develop him a little bit more?
Yeah. I mean, same could be said about William Eklund with the Sharks. I just think that's kind of a necessity since they got no one else. And in the preseason, he actually had their most points on the team. Like that's, I don't know if you're the Sharks, that's either a good thing or like, oh geez, guys, like maybe we're not very good anymore.
Yeah, I guess you really could see it both ways.
um, but kind of speaking on like the Owen Power and Matty Beniers, the University of Michigan might have one of the best college hockey teams like we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, they're pretty stacked.
deservedly, they're the number one ranked team in the country. I believe they're undefeated as of right now. They probably haven't played like 4 games, but um, they've got Owen Power, they've got Matt Beniers, they have Thomas Bordelot, they've got what's his name? Brisson. His last name is Brisson. His dad is actually an NHL agent. And then they have Luke Hughes, the third Hughes brother, who actually got drafted 4th overall. So they have what? They have 3 of the top 4 picks of the past draft class. That's crazy. All on one
So
team.
they are undefeated.
Who have they played so far?
They played Bowling Green,
Okay.
Lake Superior State twice.
Okay.
Oh, that doesn't make sense because it says they're 4-0, but they've played 5 times.
Maybe they played like a tournament to begin.
Maybe that Lake Superior State or something.
Maybe.
And then Minnesota Duluth, and then Minnesota State, which was the big win.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, these games start at funky times.
What are the
Minnesota
times?
Duluth 7:37 p.m. Minnesota State 4:07 p.m. And all the other ones are normal, but those 2 were just
could be like a TV thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Or I don't even know. They're probably not on TV.
Random.
But yeah, it's man, I do not see Michigan losing very much this season. And if you predicted that Michigan was going to win everything this year, I would say, yeah, you're probably right. They should. They like absolutely should. I'm not saying there aren't better teams, like if that makes sense. But in terms of just talent, these guys are practically an all-star roster for college.
Oh, 100%.
It's incredible.
I mean, like the Big Ten is like fairly loaded with their hockey teams, but I do think Michigan definitely sits at the top.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, as you said, they beat Minnesota State, who you had they were originally number 1.
Yeah, they were ranked number 1. I don't know. I'm guessing the standings changed after that, but like going into that game, Minnesota State was number 1.
Jeez. College hockey, it's I feel like it's something that's going to start catching on with ESPN now. And I think ESPN could make a lot more money and by broadcasting those games, because I think it's actually very interesting and people get into it in like the colder states where maybe their football teams aren't as good, like Boston College. I know they have like an okay football team, but man, that's a hockey school.
Yeah, and so Michigan is now number 1. Minnesota State is 2. St. Cloud State is 3.
Yep.
Minnesota is 4, and Minnesota Duluth is 5. So the state of Minnesota is crushing the top 5. And I'm not surprised.
Minnesota is good at hockey. Wow, that's a crazy takeaway from our analysis there. I'm so glad we could really uncover that.
Call it a hot take.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, my screen got all messed up. Okay. But what I'm so excited about, I love the Olympics. It's one of my favorite time of year. Other than hockey, I am like more of a Summer Olympics person. But I am excited because I just feel like this year's so fun with the Olympics since Tokyo got postponed. So it's just a year full of Olympics. Obviously, it's 2022 when winter starts, but it's just so fun because I didn't have to wait 2 years. I just had to wait a couple months. So I'm not surprised with 3 players for Olympics team. Like I'm not surprised by the 3 players that were announced for some highlighted countries here. I am now curious because Kucherov was named to the Russian Olympic Committee team. So I guess we'll see what happens with that.
Yes, he might have to stay out of that so he can be ready for May. So
yeah, he needs to be ready for May.
Yeah.
So wouldn't want to ever risk that. Or maybe he'll go to the Olympics, potentially win, and then get hurt again, and then be ready for May.
Now that would actually be genius by both Tampa Bay and
to play in the regular season. Like he's just He's just too cool.
He's too cool.
He's too cool to play in the regular season. Like,
I
why
look
would he need
I
to
low
train?
key really hate him for just taking off the regular season and then just showing up in the playoffs and then being the best player in the playoffs. It's so annoying. It's
Like,
like,
that
dude,
was nuts.
hey, play the regular season like the rest of you. Like,
And it
I'm not.
just like it just sucks because it's like playing an 82 game season and then going to the playoffs is hard.
Yeah,
Like mentally, physically, like that is hard.
yeah.
But
It's
he just
not.
took an 82 game break.
He's like, no, I'm good.
He's like, I'll just play these games like they're preseason because I'm fresh.
He's like, I'll see y'all on the other side.
Literally, I'll see y'all in May.
Yeah, see you guys in May.
That's hilarious.
We'll be there together. But yeah, I don't think too many surprises. So I'll go through the rosters that have been announced, or the 3 players who have been announced, who I assume are captains. I guess they're going to be the captains of the teams.
Yeah, I was confused how it was just like 3 players announced, but
So it was Canada started it apparently, and then everyone just was like, "Oh yeah, we'll just announce 3 players
because
too." So
I didn't even know they had tryouts yet. Because
I mean,
usually you still have to try out.
I'm looking at the list of these players. These guys probably
I
didn't
mean,
need
well,
to try
duh.
out. Yeah,
But like even so this is 2022, so -4. So 2018, right?
yes.
Okay.
Well, they didn't have NHL guys in 2018.
The last time they had NHL players, they did have to try out. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm thinking of
2014.
World Cup of
Yeah.
Hockey though.
Mm,
But I know for the
yeah,
Olympics
when's
they
that
had to
coming
try
back?
out too.
I thought that was going to be
I
like.
have a jersey from that.
I thought that was going to be like a consistent thing. What happened?
So did I. Now that
They-
we're talking about it.
What the
But I
hell?
know at some point they had recently that I can recall they had to try out.
I don't know. Canada just one day woke up and were like, we're just gonna
We'll
say
announce it.
McDavid, Crosby, and Pietrangelo are already on the team, and
Yeah,
everyone
fair
was
enough.
like, everyone just started freaking out. Was like, wait, like what? Wait, we have to announce players now? And then everyone else did it. So yeah, Canada's got McDavid, Crosby, and Pietrangelo. Out of all those, I was like, Pietrangelo, that's a weird one.
That seemed weird to slot him in
Yeah.
3.
I
Because
was
obviously
like,
there's a ton of good Canadian players that
poor
obviously
defenseman.
Pietrangelo is good, but just
I know.
I'm kind of surprised.
Because I don't even think he's the best defenseman on his team, and the other defensemen are also Canadian. So I don't know. It was weird.
I would agree, but it be how it be, I guess.
Go Canada, sure.
Canada.
Sweden chose Hedman, Zibanejad, and Landeskog. All of those make incredible sense. Finland went with Aho, Barkov, and Rantanen. Again, no surprises. Then the Czech Republic went with Andrei Palat, David Pastrnak, and Jakub Voracek, or Jakub Voracek, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And then, I mean, again, fair, I guess. Maybe I would have chose Tomas Hertl or
obviously
something.
the team's not just 3 people.
No.
So I'm just
no.
like, people will fill in around them. It'll be fine.
Germany went with Draisaitl. They did go with the rookie Moritz Seider. That's
pretty hype.
Cool, interesting one.
Yeah, could you imagine like starting your NHL debut and then being picked for the Olympics?
That's pretty cool.
That'd be so fun.
I think Germany is actually going to be pretty decent during the Olympics, but I guess we'll see. The USA went with Matthews, Jones, and Kane. We're talking about Patrick Kane, not Evander. He's Canadian. But
I don't think they would pick Evander.
I don't think Evander's making the Olympics either way.
Sorry, kid.
I think a great for Seth Jones. I don't know. Was he on the Olympic team in 2014? I don't know if he was.
So.
Let
me do some research.
I think it's deserved. I think he's outstanding.
I think he's really like shown himself and proved himself. So
Austin Matthews making his Olympic debut. That's going to be fun. And of course, Patrick Kane. I mean, he's all-time one of the best US players. So how do you say no?
How do you say no?
But yeah, and then rounding that out, the Russian Olympic Committee, I think.
Yeah, because they're not allowed to have like a team represent their country, so they have to do like the Olympic Committee.
Well, I thought it was Olympic Athletes of Russia.
I just know for like gymnastics in the spring, there was ROC.
Oh, okay. Well, they chose Ovechkin, Kucherov, that might need to change, and Vasilevsky. So
Also, like, who do you think is the I'm gonna have to look this up. Oldest hockey player in the Olympics.
it's gonna be Kovalchuk. I think he was just announced. Actually, now that we're thinking about it, I think Ilya Kovalchuk just
This
got
says
named.
Jamie Dwyer made Australian history by becoming the oldest men's hockey player at the games when he made his 4th Olympic appearance at Rio, but Rio was summer.
Oh no, Kovalchuk is the GM of the Russian team.
Correct.
That's interesting. I didn't know that was. I thought he was going to suit up like he always does.
Yeah, this says people from Switzerland were the oldest. I just
we forgot the Swiss team. Who did they have?
I just feel like Ovechkin's kind of he's an oldie but goodie.
The Swiss team had, before we move on from this, Swiss ice hockey. Shoot. Swiss ice hockey Olympics. I mean, I don't think any of the players are a surprise.
No.
Really. Come on.
Not at all.
Oh, Switzerland. Okay, so they have Roman Josi.
Classic.
Nico Hischier. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Timo Meyer. So very exciting. Probably not as good as the other groups, but they're decent, I guess.
Hey, don't worry. China's hockey team is to be announced.
Ooh, I'm very excited for that. I wonder who they're going to pick.
That's interesting.
If they win a game, the other team really should consider making an early exit.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, none of these other. I'm just looking at the 3 releases now. Yeah, nothing else is crazy to me. I'm excited for that though. I do love the Olympics.
And I think the US has a tradition of always announcing their roster after the Winter Classic game. At least that's what I remember. Like in 2000, I think it was the 2010 game. They had where was the 2010 game at? It was in Boston, I believe. They finished the game, and then they had like little kids have jerseys of the guys who are going to be represented in the US.
That is so sweet.
And I think that's when Tim Thomas was still around. And so at the end, Tim Thomas just goes and skates next to all the little kids in his USA jersey. So overall, I think that's always kind of a cool thing. And I mean, I know Winter Classics in Minnesota, kind of boring, but overall, like I really feel like sports is back for the first time in a long time now that the hockey season has started. I'm not saying hockey is the reason that like sports is back, but it just feels like everything's like we've kind of crossed a threshold where I think everything is more normal again.
Yeah, and I'm going to the Stars game on Friday because my dad's in town. So
oh wow,
I'll be able to give a little update on how normal it is because I went to a Mavs preseason game a couple weeks ago, and we had to like send in our vaccination proof or a negative test or something like that. So yeah, I feel like it's normal. I'm excited to be going to like a sporting event again. I mean, I went last year. But yeah, I'm just excited to just watch sports again because I just feel like now this is starting, NBA starting, World Series playoffs and stuff is going on right now too.
College football,
NFL. So just a good time. Fall's a good time.
Yeah. And I think someone who's missing out on that is NBC, as they no longer have the NHL, as that is an ESPN property now. But I don't know. Do you have ESPN Plus?
Okay. Let me read this text from my mother. Okay. So basically, I don't have ESPN Plus, but my parents got hold on. What did she send me? We have added the NHL Center Ice to our Spectrum account. Okay. So we did it through NHL Center Ice, which I guess is, I don't know if that's even related to ESPN now.
No. Because okay, here's what I kind of went through. I went to the NHL TV app on my Apple TV or whatever. I clicked on a game and I tried to watch it, and it goes, "Oh, go to ESPN Plus." And I'm like, "Really? It says it's on a different network." Like it said it was on like,
Well, and like it should theoretically it should redirect you. I mean, ESPN's like all powerful. They should be able to redirect you.
and also why can't they just show ESPN broadcast on NHL TV if that's their property
Yeah.
now? Very strange.
Yeah, because I'm
It's
gonna
it's
log
so
in because I'll
confusing.
watch the Blackhawks game tonight, so I'll see how it goes. But what was interesting is when I was in Nashville and we like went out for lunch or we were just
Mhm.
like chilling listening to music, I would like look up and I'm like, I would just get mesmerized by the hockey coverage because I was like, wow, I never see this. I was like, wow, this is so awesome.
Has there been a game on ABC yet, or are they is that coming up?
I don't think so. I mean,
I
I
don't
don't
remember.
know.
I know I did watch the shoot, who was playing opening night? Not okay, we did watch Seattle, but the game after that was
Oh
on
yeah.
that was on ESPN.
But um I'm just very confused because I just feel like there's just a lot of like
They're like, we're not getting rid of this
ESPN,
old thing.
ABC, ESPN Plus, Hulu. I'm like, we
Yeah,
have too many things going on.
yeah. Oh, TNT. TNT is actually really
TNT,
fun. Did you see
yeah.
the pregame show with Gretzky and
Yeah,
Shaq and,
that was fun.
or no, not Shaq, Barkley, Charles Barkley, I think. That was funny. That was actually, I think the broadcasting has been good
Yeah.
from like the commentator's perspective, but just for like a consumer perspective, it is so all over the place. And I was actually trying to watch one of the Stars games, and it said it was blacked out here, and I was like, I'm in Dallas. How is it blacked out? I went to the networks you said to
Yeah.
go to, and yet it's still, I can't watch it.
Well, yeah, I'm like, I think that's why my mom did it through like her Spectrum account because like I don't have cable here.
Yeah.
And so I can like log into her cable through like my smart TV or my phone or my computer because that's what happens when I did like the NHL TV, or I guess if I got ESPN Plus, it would like black out the games because they want you to go to live TV, but it's like I don't have live TV.
But then I went to the live TV, and
And it said
and
no,
the channel was like, "Oh no, it's not here either." And it's like,
you suck. Like
"Cool, where
just trying to
is
watch
it?"
hockey.
I will go stream this game from Reddit or something if you don't tell me where, like I
Literally.
need to pay for it. So I don't know. It's fine, but it's weird, and like
I
it's
think they're
not.
still trying to figure it out. And then I think us as hockey fans are also still trying to figure it out because it used to be just so easy. You would
Yeah,
just click a button and everything would be okay.
yeah. So ESPN NHL, if you're listening to this, figure it the hell out, please.
Yeah, figure it out, please. We just want to watch our sport.
Yeah.
Just trying to watch hockey.
Um, I think that was everything so far. I mean, do we have anything else?
Oh, Olympic predictions. Who do you
Oh
think's
yeah, yeah,
taking
sure.
home gold?
Well, now I feel like a bonehead if I don't say Canada. I mean, I want the USA to win, obviously, but I mean, we have yet to see. I haven't even, like I said, Matthews making his Olympic debut. McDavid's making his Olympic debut.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's absurd. On the same
I
team with Crosby, that's not
it
fair.
definitely will be a powerhouse, but I do just want to stay loyal to my red, white, and blue in the
Yeah,
USA.
yeah. We are. I think if we do have a chance to win it, it'll be this year. I think we
I
have a really good
agree.
chance this year. Um, I think there are some parts of our lineup, like when you start getting to the bottom half, you're like, ooh, maybe not as good as Canada. But
Yeah, the depth is going to be an issue, I feel like.
yeah, I don't know. Sweden could be tough, but I think it's USA or Canada this year or next year.
Oh, I just love the Olympics. And it will be interesting because like Olympics are NBC.
Yeah.
So like doing a little,
They're gonna be like, oh, hey guys, remember us?
yeah,
And we're gonna be like,
remember
yeah,
us.
look what y'all did. We can't watch games anymore. Thanks,
We're
guys.
just trying to watch the game.
But yeah. I'm glad we got another episode in. I know we kind of had a short break in between, but I think
Yeah, October has just been slammed.
yeah, I think we'll try to aim for a bit more consistency moving forward.
Oh, 100%.
We'll have to see what the schedules are like, but uh, we'll also try and find a way of keeping everyone updated with this. I know I'm gonna try and start writing some blogs on the Going the Distance
Yeah, and I was gonna do like
page.
kind of like a little write-up of what we talked about today and
Yeah,
then put people towards the podcast too. So if
yeah.
you're
So
listening, go check out the
definitely,
written pieces. And if you did read and now you're listening, thank you.
yeah. If you just stay tuned. I feel like that's the only thing we can really say right now. I mean, it's kind of, this is only episode 2,
Early
so
days.
early days. I mean, who knows? This is the next Spit and Chicklets, I guess.
Yeah, maybe we're the next big thing.
Who knows? Who knows?
If you want to
Well,
sponsor us, let us know. We'll shout you out.
I'll wear your hat. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We could get t-shirts. You never know.
You never know. And I think that's kind of the theme of today. You never know.
You never know. You
So
never know when your career is going to end at 25.
well, that was a sad way to end it, but we will do it there.
On that note, good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.